Catch up with all the latest national and international stories in 10 minutes after the ITV News now from closer to home.
Good evening. At least 4 people have died after a crash on the M5 in South Gloucestershire. The motorway is closed in both directions between junctions 14 and 16. Police say the collision involved several vehicles, including a lorry. Motorists are being asked to avoid the area. Around 100 friends and classmates of a Bristol teenager who died from meningitis are to be given a free vaccine to protect them from the disease. George Zagrofu died from the B strain. A jab against it is normally only available privately. But after another 2 teenagers fell ill in the city this week, including one of George's friends, Public Health England has taken the precaution of getting in touch with his social circle. Both patients are said to be recovering well.
So I want to be clear, this is not an outbreak. We're not seeing numbers that are unusual in Bristol compared to previous years. We've got plans in place to do this, and we're hoping to ensure that we get this done by the middle of next week.
And if you're worried about meningitis, there's more information on our website, plus details of a charity event taking place in George's memory tomorrow. Elsewhere, police forces in the West Country say the public should stay alert but not alarmed following yesterday's terror incident in London. An 18-year-old man was arrested this morning after an explosive device was placed on the Underground. Avon and Somerset police say people may notice more officers on patrol, but they stress there is currently no known specific threat to the southwest. An 11-year-old girl from Gloucestershire is campaigning for Chinese lanterns to be banned. Lexi Stevenson from Birdlip says the lanterns are a danger to wildlife. A warning now that you may find some images in Ken Goodwin's report distressing.
They may look lovely, but they can also be deadly. Chinese lanterns can cause fires and can be lethal to livestock, which swallow the wires that they're made of, or to birds, which can get tangled up in them. But Lexi Stevenson from Whitcombe near Gloucester wants to do something about it. She started an online petition to get the lanterns banned.
They're made out of paper, wire and flames, so if they land in a field they can set the whole field on fire, and if they land on a barn or something they can set the barn on fire and everything in it. I got the idea of doing it because I was reading a magazine and it had a full page of how dangerous they are, and it had a picture of a bird that got tangled up, and there was a caption underneath that said it was struggling and suffering for over 2 hours.
Some heavyweight organisations agree with Lexi. The RSPCA wants a ban, as does the National Farmers Union and the Marine Conservation Society.
Oh, amazingly impressed. I'm very proud of her. She started it when she was 10 years old from reading an article in a magazine, a wildlife magazine, and was really affected by the damage and the harm that it can cause to wildlife and farms and basically everything in nature and outside. So I'm very, very proud of what she's doing and how far she's pushing it. We've seen lanterns around. There's a few big hotels around that also have wedding parties, and occasionally the lanterns are set off for that. And we also know a lot of local landowners and farmers who've had issues with them, particularly the ones where it lands near a barn and sets fire to their whole year's worth of work, you know.
Lexi doesn't want to spoil anyone's fun. She just wants to stop wildlife falling victim to the lanterns once they drop back to the ground.
Please don't use Chinese lanterns because they can kill animals and humans.
Ken Goodwin, ITV News, Gloucestershire.
On to sport, and in rugby, Gloucester have lost their second game of the season after going down 24-10 at Leicester. The hosts scored 3 tries before Josh Harnock pulled one back for the Cherry and Whites. Last night, Bath suffered their first defeat of the season, going down 24-6 at Northampton, and Bristol take on Richmond in the Championship tomorrow. On to football now, and Bristol City's impressive start to the season continues after coming from behind to beat Derby 4-1 at Ashton Gate. In League One, it's a second straight defeat for Bristol Rovers, who lost 3-0 at Wigan. In League Two, 2 goals from Kevin Dawson helped Cheltenham to a 3-1 win over Colchester. Yeovil lost 2-1 at Grimsby. Forest Green Rovers drew 1-1 at Port Vale, and Swindon Town got back to winning ways with a 3-2 win over Stevenage. Let's take a look at the weather. Here's Luke.
Hello again, good evening. Heavy thundery showers and longer spells of rain continuing this evening and for the first part of tonight. Those showers will gradually ease overnight, and tomorrow will be a much better day, dry and brighter for all of us. Now, a ridge of high pressure will develop in the southwest over the coming days, keeping things mostly dry and settled. It's on Wednesday morning this area of wind and rain will arrive from the west and gradually make its way eastwards through the course of the day. But back to this evening, still plenty of heavy downpours out there. In fact, the Met Office have a yellow weather warning in place for the far southwest of our region. Do be aware of the risk of localised flooding, surface water on the roads. Around 30 millimetres of rain could fall here in just a few hours. Elsewhere, where the rain has cleared under clear skies tonight, it will be a chilly night. Temperatures down to single figures widely, down to 4 or 5 degrees out in the countryside. Then a mostly dry and quite bright start tomorrow morning. A much better day for all of us come the afternoon. Plenty of sunny spells, still feeling on the cool side with highs around 16 or 17 degrees. Then mostly dry and settled for the next few days. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Luke. Well, that's the way it looks tonight. We'll be back tomorrow evening at 6:35. But from all of us here, whatever you're doing, have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.